Hello, in this video I show you step by step how to build a pole building for the least amount of money. This particular pole building is for a fifth wheel RV. The ground here is stable and rocky, so I'm not setting the posts on a concrete footing. If I didn't build cheap, I couldn't build at all. If the information in this video can help you with your future plans, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. You see here I set 4 or 5 posts in a row and then come off of those posts to get my square for the rest of the building. And this is just an easy way to start with your square without having to do a lot of batterboard work in the beginning. You just start with 1 post in the ground, draw a line, put posts in a row, give them equal spacing, and as long as those are in a straight line, then after you get those set, you can get your square for the other side of the building. Those are 16-foot long 4x4s that we're raising for the posts. 20 years ago I might have raised those by myself, but now I'm not too proud to ask for help. Plus it was good to have help, to have someone to hold them up while I get them adjusted, get them cross braced, and make things a whole lot smoother and quicker and easier. Well, today you can see I've got all the posts in. There are 5 posts on each side. They're 8 feet apart. And the 4x4s themselves are 16 feet long, and they're not in the ground very much, maybe 14, 16 inches, because this ground is rock. So the building overall measures 15 by 32. The spacing between the 4x4s is 8 feet, or actually center to center or something like that. But the overall length is 32 feet. And today I'm going to put these 2x4s up about 2 feet from the top. You can see that piece of 2x4 I have up there. And I'm going to do that on both sides. And this will give me a place to lay my ladder safely, so that I can then raise the beam, because I got to raise at each one of these 4x4s. I have to raise a 2x10 beam that measures 16 feet long, and I expect I'll probably do that by myself, so you'll see the whole thing. Extra lumber for temporary bracing is essential to keep all the components plumb and square until the entire structure is complete and permanent bracing is installed. Be thoughtful about removal of those temporary braces, prior to having the building complete and permanently braced, because you could risk the building collapsing, a puff of wind come up, or you get up on the roof and you start moving around and everything starts to shake a little bit. Be very careful about dismantling those braces before you're ready. Well, we got all the 8 upper pieces in, the temporary pieces, and for me that's a day's work. I'm out of shape. Now tomorrow I'm going to start the 2x10 16-foot long beams that are going to go from side to side this way, because the sheet metal runs this way. So we're going to do beams this way, purlins this way, sheet metal this way, so the drainage is in that direction. So these temporary pieces up here, 2x4s, are basically just to stabilize everything, and I'm going to use it to put the ladder up against to raise a 2x10. And I'll show you the 2x10s. They're still in the tractor. These long babies right here. Those I'm going to put up by myself up there. So stay tuned.
One of the main things I'm going to show you when you're working by yourself and lifting heavy lumber, as in a beam or something like that, I'm going to show you how to stair step, how to move one end up, go to the other end, to the other end up in smaller increments. You can put a heavy beam way up high by yourself doing it that way. It's very dangerous. You have to watch every step you take, every move you make. You have to have safety devices and all that stuff.
That little board on the screen there may look small, but it's a 2x10, 16 feet long with a high moisture content. It's very heavy. Becoming a DIY person means mastering the art of patience and persistence. It really makes no difference how slow you're moving, just keep moving. By moving, you're making progress. This 15 by 32 section I'm building here is for the RV itself. In part 2 of this series, I'll show you how I built the 14 by 24 porch with laundry room and entry. I'm building this structure in 2 phases to make it more manageable. It would be a little bit more difficult to try and do it all at once. So I'm taking it a little at a time, just building half of it at a time. Get your posts straight up and down because the neat appearance of your finished building plays off of those posts. Well, today I'm going to start installing 16-foot long 2x10s, and I've got to put these underneath them so that the 2x10s can rest on the top of this instead of just being screwed and lag screwed into the side of the 4x4. And I angle cut the bottom just for looks and
So I'll put these up there, I'll get my level, I'll put these up there, and then I'll put the 2x10s on top. And I might even do that by myself. See right here, it's beveled at the bottom, angle cut. Yeah. You can see how the 2x10 sits on it, and I just screw it with 6 star bit head screws, and the 2x10 is attached to the 4x4 right there. Now I only put temporarily, I put 2 star bit screws in it. When I get all the beams up, then I'll put a couple of lag screws, lag bolts in there. Well, lag screws. And you can see on down the line here, and you see the other piece at the other end. Now what this does, it not only helps in the installation of the 2x10 to give it something to sit on, makes it easier to put it in place, but it also helps me avoid having to notch out that 4x4 right there to receive that 2x10. And it'd be a little bit harder work to come up here and draw lines in that 4x4 and cut it to notch it out for that 2x10. So the 2x10 is something to rest on, and I can get it done quickly and move on down the line. You see, I've got these other 3 beams to install over here. So one at a time, with a lot of ladder climbing, up and down, I'm going to install these, and I want this end to overhang about 21 inches. I'm going to say exactly 21 inches because that's what I'm going to measure to. I'm going to put a screw in the 2x6 so that when I'm at the other end over there, then I can pull the 2x6 and the screw will be in the board down here, and it'll stop the board right against that beam. And there'll be no guesswork, and that'll save me maybe an extra trip down the ladder to come down to this end. So I can be down there and pull the board, pull the board that way. The screw down here will stop it. Then I can secure it down there, then come down here and secure it, then secure it in the middle, and then go on to the next one. I've got to cut shorter pieces, blocking pieces to go in between them. So there's a blocking piece going to go on each beam, at the top of each beam in between those 2x6s. That keeps them from racking, keeps them from warping this way or that. So you'll see what I'm talking about when we get into it.
Come on up with me and I'll show you how this blocking works. You got to put blocking between the 2x6s up here or they'll rack and twist. I guess racking and twisting means the same thing. Now then, see the short piece in between here and here? This is not connected yet, but this piece keeps these 2x6s from twisting this way and that. And it is essential when building with taller lumber like this, like 6-inch, 8-inch, 12-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch, and you go a long distance. Like here I'm going 8-foot spans between the beams. So, and then I'm putting a couple of screws in the end. I'm putting one screw diagonal down into this 2x10 down here, and then 2 screws directly into the blocking piece. And then I'll put 2 screws in the end of this to tie it in. But I'm blocking every one of these because then the sheet metal goes directly on top of this. Now if I didn't block this, birds could build a nest on top of this 2x10 right here, because they could get up in here. See that? See the gap here? If I didn't have that blocking piece, birds could build a nest right up here, or dirt daubers, wasps, whatever. So between every one of those, throughout the entire building, I'm putting all these smaller blocking pieces. So I've got the 2x10 beams and the 2x6 purlins up here. The sheet metal ribs will run this direction, and that's downhill. So it'll shed off to the side of the building. Anyway, that's what I'm working on now, and I expect doing this, climbing up and down this tall ladder by myself repeatedly all day long takes a lot of energy, and I'm getting old. Let's go on down, back down the ladder, and this is what you have to do when you're working up this height, is go up and down the ladder, up and down, up and down. And that's what takes so much time and so much energy. But just be patient when you're doing this, and know that every piece you get done is progress. So that's one less thing you have to do, and one step closer toward the finish line. And I've done this for years, and I've accomplished a great deal. So I've proven that it can be done by yourself. Building, remodeling, all sorts of things. So you just have to be persistent and have, do your homework, study things, and be safe. Always be safe 100% of the time. I cannot emphasize that enough. You have to be safe at all times. Because if you break yourself, then you're not going to get anything done. Yesterday, you see, I've installed all the blocking pieces on the 20-foot end of the building. So now I got to install the purlins and the blocking pieces on the 16-foot end. So to do that, I'm going to use the same stair-step method of getting the purlins up here that I used on the other part. And this side should go a little quicker because I've only got 2 beams to put these on and attach them to. Over there, you see I have 3 beams. So I'm hoping to get this done today because the sky is cloudy and it's going to storm tonight, and I'd like to get all the wood parts done today so that when the rain stops, then I can immediately start and bring up the sheet metal and get this metal on here. Okay, here I'm going to attach splicer pieces to the ends of these 16-foot 2x6 purlins for the purpose of joining the two purlins up on top together. So those are the splicer pieces, and they go like this, half and half, half on each side. And then I'll put about 2, 4, 6 screws in each end. Part 2 in this series will show how to build this large porch, the laundry room, and the entry, and also the steps. Well, thank you for watching Part 1 of the construction process. Please subscribe to see Part 2 and more videos showing do-it-yourself extreme home remodeling. See you next time.